crazy, man. Perry, come on.
Mole is not a human being. He's a fucking little bitch.
And act.
Oh. Welcome to another episode of Fishy Film Fridays. Today we're taking a look at Windy City Heat. In this film, you can really sum up with one man, and that man's name is Perry Caravello. He's a struggling but overconfident aspiring actor who in this film convinces Hollywood, his effort is to convince Hollywood that he is a big star. What he doesn't know is that an entire production around him, movie, audition, press junkets, it's all an elaborate prank. His closest friends are actually his tormentors. These guys, Don Barris and Tony Barbarelli or whatever. Forget his name. Mo. What was his name?
Mo. I don't remember.
Mole.
Mole.
They built an entire fake film from the ground up just to see how far Perry's ego and desperation for fame can stretch. The result is Windy City Heat. The film we are watching today. Is it cool? Is it comedy? We're going to get to the bottom of it on this pod. And, of course, I'm joined by the always handsome Jared.
Yay. I am very handsome. Thank you very much.
You serve the Perry Caravello of...
I was wondering this because we are a big three, some of us bigger than others.
Yes.
And I think all of us have been a Perry at one point or another in our antics and pranks throughout this and creating false senses of reality with 2 out of the 3 people always conniving between the other. I will acknowledge I don't know. Between Danny and I, we probably have the worst narcissism that is probably most comparative to Perry.
Oh.
Yes, where I think our egos could potentially inflate to the level of what Perry had in his in his fake reality of becoming a A-list Hollywood star, especially when he thought, he had a shot with Britney Spears at one point.
I think we all
That was a lengthy intro, but yeah.
All of us have a little Perry in us. And here's our other Perry. We're joined again, as always, Danny Asian.
What's up? The government shutdown is ending, and so is the long drought of Fishy Film Fridays content.
We don't know when the episode's going to come out, so try to guess what the future has and talk.
It is going to end on the same day that the AI bubble bursts, which is going to be Thanksgiving Day.
All right, You heard it here first.
No, 2 days before Thanksgiving because they want to get the flights back running.
Yeah. I have a feeling I'm going to be interested in that they are going to try to create a work from home situation for the congressional members who can't get into town. And we're going to see if virtual voting's permitted ever, which, if you recall, some people didn't like that back during the shutdown of the COVID.
I do think maybe it would be a bad idea. Make them do their jobs.
Yeah. Has anyone been infected by their income due to the shutdown?
No.
I have. It's unfortunate.
Well, Costco is always hiring, or you could be a big movie star like Perry Caravello.
I'm going towards the movie star, but I don't want a stunt double. I'm going to do all of them like Jackie Chan.
Yes, that's a good reference. Let's start off with this. We like to sort of set the stage. What did you guys have any context to this film before you watched it? Or is this maybe a second viewing? What's your history?
First viewing for me, never heard of it before. Saw the initial who it was produced by, Jimmy Kimmel, and then I realized Adam Carolla, Carson Daly were in it,
right?
Or part of it. And then I did watch The Man Show when I was 6 years old. Don't know how that was permitted. Also incredible.
You can just admit that you didn't watch it. You don't have to lie and say you watched something.
I watched The Man Show with my brother. He was 7 years older than me, 8 years older. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was
your brother is kind of a Perry, actually.
Oh, that's actually a great point. I think we could pull something off like this to him very easily.
And tell him he can have an hour-long speech in front of the UN or some shit.
We just hire a bunch of people from Home Depot to pretend like they're the representatives,
The delegates.
in a Holiday Inn Express conference room.
Danny, what do you know about this film?
I had never heard of the film before. I had never seen the film before. I didn't realize Jimmy Kimmel listed in the opening credits or only the closing credits?
I think the closing, but I saw it when I originally
Yeah.
YouTubed it, like to find it
Yeah, so I
online.
don't think I knew. I didn't really know much at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, so blind viewing for sure.
absolutely. And it's interesting because Jimmy Kimmel's had quite the heel turn in the last 25 years. Since this, I think it's interesting to see. He even they show him on the show a little bit, whatever. This is 2003.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
When he does his Tonight
It
Show
feels like a
interview.
fever dream. It doesn't even feel like the same show. He's kind of pudgy. It's very
Yep.
clear he's on adrenochrome, and he's sold his soul to some sort of.
Is adrenochrome like another semi-glutide, like the Ozempic?
No. Adrenochrome is blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, John, my question for you here is, did you pick this film because of the Jimmy Kimmel news?
That was definitely a part of it because I knew Kimmel was related. But I also had heard this is a funny movie, and I think it was funny. Let's get a little bit of an early spoiler at the review. Did you guys think this was funny?
That's my whole review as my answer, though.
So you don't have to say.
Well, you could just say yes or no.
Did you?
No.
He said no. Okay, that's going to be interesting for the discussion.
I say yes, and I appreciated it.
Are we shocked by the way this broke down? No, and our viewers aren't either.
Well,
dear viewer, leave a comment below. Are you surprised that Danny Ocean didn't find it funny and the other two hooligans did?
It's important to have varying opinions. I do think the first 20 minutes are immaculate. This thing sets the stage and does it beautifully well.
It's very well paced. There's never too much dumb content that
You're so right. There's no slow rolls. I'm on the ride the whole time. I'm engrossed.
And the transitions work well. It didn't feel clunky.
I will say I started falling off of my attentional capacity maybe 30 minutes from the end.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Their second to last bit in the limo was probably the one that went on a bit too long.
Like that
yes,
but it is also really funny too when you start thinking of they show up 2.5 hours late to their screen, or hour and a half later, whatever the fuck it was, to their one exclusive screening.
It was great, and for some reason they could only view it once. And it was
right.
They sort of Perry's okay, yeah, this is the one time I'm gonna get to see it.
So Tim, explain to us a little bit of who Perry is, because that part confused me of how autistic this man really was until later on in the film.
Backstory we're not aware of. They've been bullying this man for 10 years up until the film. He's very full of himself. He thinks he's great. He's a comedian, 2-bit comedian. He's terrible. You can just tell. He's got this look that he's always wearing. But you have to think, does he have a mental illness when you watch this film?
Well, the answer is yes, he does.
And what is that mental illness?
He was in some sort of an accident and was in a coma and had suffered brain damage.
What, did they say that in the movie?
It's in Wikipedia.
I had to go on the Reddit thread for that.
So there's a question about the ethics of the whole stunt.
But I feel bad for Perry throughout it, but then he opens his mouth and says something, and then you're okay, he kind of...
Because he's retarded.
No, I don't...
I hope Perry donates his brain to science, and it's a Phineas Gage type thing, where they do realize it's some CTE related type item, because I think you could do a modern day version of this with Antonio Brown.
Interesting.
Convincing Antonio Brown you're gonna put him back in the NFL as a number one receiver, but it's a new team or something, and just see how he goes with it. Kind of what he did with the arena football team he owned. Maybe that it was a stunt. We just haven't got to see it.
Maybe the arrest is a stunt.
And and him J.O.ing in Dubai in front of the lady in the pool.
No, I meant the thing about his extradited for murder.
Yeah. So Scary Perry, he starts off and he's auditioning for this movie, Windy City Heat. He's playing his, the titular. He's trying out for the titular role.
It's not the titular role because the movie is called Windy City Heat.
They wrote like there's big
what is
freaks.
this main character's name?
Oh, Stone Fury.
Yeah,
Stone Fury.
But did they write this like screenplay? Him and his like comedy troupe?
No, I think just the other two did.
Okay.
And I think the movie is interesting because it's clear that it's revealed that Perry's not in on it. Whatever. Perry's not in on it. He doesn't know this stuff.
Yeah, through title cards.
But
it's not actually shown.
But they set up all these scenes and they kind of have a script, sort of, okay, we're going to do this with the casting director and just hope that Perry walks into it. So there's a lot of interesting, it's like a sketch comedy, but then they're improving, once they see how Perry reacts. And it's gold. Some of this stuff is gold.
And this is before Borat, and this is, I guess, in the middle of like Sacha Baron Cohen doing his original like Ali G characters.
Oh yeah, this is before The Office.
How does The Office relate?
Is it before the British Office though?
But the British Office, why would that? That's a scripted comedy where it's like some improv, but
on that, and it's like mockumentary style.
Not but there's always like everyone there is in on it.
Well,
bad comparison.
Well, okay.
It's pre-Jackass. That would be another relevant.
Oh no, Jackass came out a little bit earlier, but Jackass is like purely pranks, and like with the pup. This actually set the ground for Borat / why am I echoing?
Like Nathan Fielder,
The Rehearsal, Jury Duty, and Nathan For You. This is what this set up, where you create this like false sense of
Eric
reality.
Andre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really did. I believe that. He goes and he tries. He's going to try out for this movie, and there's a big-breasted lady behind the counter. What is
very man show-esque? Susan B. Anthony. Dude,
that's funny.
The bit of all the names was incredible. I'll get to that later because they name a family member of mine.
Well, I will have to catch that when we get to that point. Okay, so, and another name they're trying out.
John Quincy Adams
in front of
Roman Polanski, who's played by Dane Cook.
Dane Cook, which is funny in its own turn because Dane Cook is like an adulterer now.
And Dane Cook was popular enough at that point that a comedian who's trying to like know people in the industry should have recognized him.
Well, so actually, in the Wikipedia, Perry claims that he knew that was not Roman Polanski. But that he just went along with it because he thought it was funny.
Interesting.
But did he actually know, or is he just trying to cover his ass?
I think he's just trying to cover because
he's constantly, he doesn't know references, he doesn't know people. Like when he meets the executive producer and it's John Quincy Adams, like he thinks there's a guy named John Quincy Adams
who speaks in a hilarious colonial British accent,
old-timey, like colonial American accent.
And who's only on the phone when Mole is not in the room.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. That's so stupid. Carson Daly is also shown early on as a cameo. He's also trying out for the role. And
sometimes that shit was confusing to me because I didn't know what Ansel Adams looked like, and then they're like, Ansel Adams is taking photos, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Jimmy Kimmel must know Ansel Adams, and then like, no, it's just not Ansel Adams.
Or the Charlton Heston one. Yes. That one got me good. I didn't
know who Charlton Heston was.
Planet of the Apes.
He's like one of the most famous actors of like the 20th century.
Yeah, I feel like you could do this to me because sometimes I have such big blind spots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's also the early 2000s, so the reference points are a little bit different.
Yeah,
it's true.
Here we meet Bobcat Goldthwait, who's the director of the film.
Who's always speaking through a megaphone.
I love that bit.
Very funny. He says at one point to Perry's like, well, you can turn that down. He goes like, oh, I'm just going to turn the volume down on the megaphone. He says because he doesn't want to stop using the megaphone because he might forget while he's on set
and directing.
That's funny. He's
easy, and that's very on par for like Bobcat type comedy. I don't know if you ever listen to any Bobcat stuff in the 80s.
No.
screams, right? Like that's sort of Bob.
Why does Jared always act like he's 70 years old on this
Because
podcast?
he thinks it gets him like some sort of brownie points for.
It does with that audience.
But
right
from
there.
whom? Like, who does he think is giving out these brownie points? It's not
I've
us.
watched this stuff. I'm just saying I have a better frame of reference.
All right, Perry.
Yeah, so the names were funny.
Names are funny throughout. We're gonna keep calling them out as we see it.
I like during his interviews. Oh, they did a very good job of like getting him to open up in those interviews, like saying, "Oh, these are behind the scenes documentaries that we need to do," and he just says the most bigoted shit.
Yeah,
and sexist.
Wait,
like,
what does he say?
He later goes on about like the guy who's playing the gay costume designer.
Who was the voice of SpongeBob, by the way.
Yes. Oh, you beat me to that one. And then he also, whenever is like a hot chick would go in, he's like, "Oh, I'd love to be inside her pants. Oh my God, her big boobs."
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Where he says these things is like, oh, like he should be bullied and ridiculed because he can't say these types of things. He's a homophobe. He's probably racist. He doesn't really get into that, but
that's true.
He's a bad he gets the part though.
Woohoo!
Or is he just a regular
against
dude
a
from
very
Chicago?
stiff competition?
Yes.
Of Carson Daly.
Well, they said they also they
Harrison Ford, George
Schwarzenegger. They had all those big Bruce Willis.
And they still had their pictures up on the wall, which I thought was like,
why
would you do that?
That was so great. I thought that was solid.
Well, I like it when they announced that he's got the role. They like his friends swarm him and like kind of like fuck him up, like grab his face, and that's funny too. Had me chuckling. I mean, that's good stuff.
Good stuff.
I don't think I really liked Mo early on.
Mole.
I didn't like Mole.
Well, I didn't know Mole was like a character of what's his name, Tony Barberi, until like after I watched it and read out like that Don and Tony were playing characters. I caught on to that for a bit, but for a while I'm like, maybe Tony's like actually this dude.
Yeah, it was confusing because he was supposed to be perpetually high, but the things he didn't really seem like stoner things. They seemed more like crack addict things.
They were just it was a cartoon. He was portraying a cartoon, and whatever could be the disruptive character that can do wrong, but no one's gonna hold accountable. Kind of like a Danny.
But Danny,
which is like crazy because like how do you like the hard part for me to conceptualize here is the time frame. Like it's one thing to get someone into like a crazy movie thing and like do little pranks on them, but like to build false relationships to get him to that place, that is really crazy.
Wait, what are you
saying? Like that takes such a level of planning and commitment.
No, all Perry did was show up to the casting because his two buddies, Don.
Right, but his two buddies had been faking their personalities for a very long time.
No, everyone. Everyone outside. Tony is convinced that Don and Mole's personality, those characters, are who they really are in like real life.
I know because they've been his fake friends for years.
But like the other people,
what's
like
crazy.
Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel, are.
I know, but I'm talking about those two guys.
Yeah.
10 years of like fucking with this guy and somehow keeping the relationship, which like that seems hard.
Do you ever stay up at night thinking that we've been doing that to you?
Not really. I'm not. You're not getting any. Like I'm not funny enough. It's not a funny enough hijinks.
You think you even do that to me?
Yes.
Okay.
We're actually doing it to John. He doesn't even know. That actually is much more likely because like we are kind of like the chaotic fuckboys of the two. And John would be our unwilling victim.
Retard.
Not that part. The retarded part is closest to Jared.
John's dressed like he was in a car accident in a coma.
Well, he's talking to John Quincy Adams. They're all talking to him. And I like one bit in there where he tells Perry, "Oh, where are you sitting? You're not sitting in my chair, are you?" And he's like, "No, I'm next to your cow that's like upside down in the corner."
Taxidermy cow carcass.
And like no one thinks about that one. That's just part of the course.
Also, great random set design stuff that they did. Like they built that like when they're starting their first scene of the movie, and he has to keep getting thrown in the dumpster. Like what?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. because they have to first get their jiggly wiggly. They have to.
Oh yes.
They have to cast it. So they bring in 3 ladies and they all audition at the same time. That's funny. They all say their line at once and then they lift their boobs and like cut. And you know that Perry wanted to keep going because he's a horn dog. And he's like, I like the one on my left. I like that one. But Bobcat says no, and he smashes all the papers over. And that's when the assistant comes back and Susan B. Anthony. And Perry's saying, let's pick her. Let me come on, because she's got bazingas. Mole makes the suggestion, however, and Susan goes over and kisses her. And then Susan kisses the other guy, but won't give a smooch to Perry. It's very funny. That's a funny scene, too. Did you guys think that was funny?
Yeah, I like that. Because
like maybe clever, but I don't know if I would say funny.
Well, I like the tension they keep building, that Perry is like realizing, why am I getting like raw into the deal, because it fed into that, and then it feeds into his later contract negotiations where the agent, who I love, they put a yarmulke on.
Oh, the
yarmulke looked like a diaper.
It's just a giant.
Yeah, it's a huge yarmulke.
Like, and just those little subtle things to like show people like, oh, this is not reality, but Perry is so dumb he doesn't recognize this is like he's being fucked with, is just so incredible.
Yeah, and they immediately start acting. I mean, like they begin filming the film.
Yeah, but they shot it in 6 or 7 days. And
this is the part where Jared's talking about. They pick him up and they throw him in a dumpster. And Bobcat's like, can we get poop and pee and shit? We need to make this dirtier. And Perry's saying, no, we can't do that. We can't use real poop and pee. We don't need to do that. And he's like, no, we need to do that. And they throw him in a dumpster full of poop. Now that's good stuff too.
And that's like kind of the fundamental conceit of the film, because then he's like, no more stunts, and then he changes his mind later and wants to do stunts, and that's like how they get him to do a bunch of silly shit.
Precisely.
I was watching a podcast. It was a Jimmy Kimmel, Howie Mandel podcast.
Why?
It was following this, and they were talking specifically about this. I don't watch a Howie Mandel podcast for fun. And they did script out like his multiple reactions of like what could potentially happen and how do you pivot in that scenario. And basically they said almost every single one he was reacted exactly how they thought he would, with the exception of the sex scene later on, because they didn't know he was lactose intolerant and had to go shit himself.
It is funny, after he's thrown in the shit, he says, oh, that was my first big Halloween. That was my first Hollywood scene, and it was great. I loved it. You know, like he's excited.
As he's covered in shit.
But it was a disaster. This is when he talks to the contract attorney. His name is Sol Steinbergowitz Greenbaum.
Yeah, this was racist as fuck.
This is stuff you can only get away with in 2002, you know?
Yes.
He's got the diaper on his head, and Perry...
As is bullying someone with, like, brain damage, but whatever.
And they're going over the writer, and Perry wants blueberries and food. Like, he's all about his food, and he wants shampoo. And then Mole asks for a motorcycle, and he got a motorcycle, and... whatever the other guy's name is, got a watch, you know. So
Barry, something like that.
Bob, but I forgot his name.
Jared would know, but he's too busy doing something else on this computer.
I'm looking up something.
But what's the other guy's name?
Don Barris, remember?
Don Barris, yeah, Big Don.
Okay, and then this is when Perry. I mean, these are, and then zinger all the time. Adam Carolla makes a cameo at some point.
Oh, I love that, where they're like, Perry keeps trying to compliment him on the Man Show, and it's like been canceled. Right. And him and Jimmy Kimmel had like a falling out then.
Right. And I guess, I mean, sure, I didn't know about that. Like
I told you I know about the Man Show.
Well, Adam Carolla says something like he's shooting Air Bud.
Air Caligula.
Air Caligula,
which is hilarious because
the dog has a spear.
Are you familiar with Caligula?
Is he the one who fucked his
Well, it was basically an NC-17 film, and they had like full-on orgy scenes in this. This is potentially like the raunchiest sexual like widely released movie that's not a pornographic film ever made.
So that's funny that it's
yeah, and like Perry did not catch on to that at all. Like,
well, they won't give Perry his
trailer
because
Charlton Heston is
Heston's
in there. And so they put I love it. They take him to the second trailer and they open the door and pigeons fly out. Yes. Like, absolutely fucking incredible.
Stuff. See, this is the first 30 minutes and we've already hit so many zingers. My jaw was on the floor. I couldn't stop laughing.
Well, it's just amazing because you see this guy who's wanting to be a part of this and doesn't think he's willing to play ball with them and not throw too much of a fit at first. Like, at first, he's just asking for no milk and to have, like, orange juice. And, like, he's not getting mad, but you can just see it building up and up as it goes along.
It's like because he's excited about this film.
Tim, this is very much you, where, like, you do let us, like, get away with a lot. And it builds up and up, and then all of a sudden you're slapping phones out of people's hands in golf carts at Vieques.
That's a good take.
Most people work like that, though.
You reach a boiling point.
Exactly.
Nice.
This is when the wardrobe department shows up, Santiago, and then there's a cutaway to Perry, and he straight up is like, I'm homophobic. He just says that.
Yeah.
And Santiago is obviously a gay character. He's put there to make Perry uncomfortable. He makes him put on a thong. He makes him put on chaps, and it turns out it's for Oklahoma. He's got the wrong film.
Which is just incredible. Especially Mole comes in later with his like Polaroid camera, which I was hoping that bit would like elaborate in something where like Perry grabs the camera trying to like smash it. I think they're hoping for that.
Yeah, for a bigger reaction.
But did you
his body was oddly shaped, huh? And those thongs and that thong.
I thought it seems like he's a hog.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was very complimentary. Like when they I don't know if you saw this later, but on Johnny Knoxville's podcast, like a decade later, they were able to convince him to like put his dick in a mousetrap.
He sued them for that.
Yeah, I saw that on Wikipedia as well.
He tried to sue them.
Yeah. Wikipedia fact, share it.
Yeah, so he put Johnny Knoxville convinced him to put his dick in a mousetrap, and he'd give him $10 million, so he did it. But Johnny Knoxville, of course, didn't give him $10 million, so he sued them, and didn't win.
Holy fuck!
Or no, I think there was a settlement, but I saw that, but it was not $10 million. If you ever look at Perry's his Twitch stream, he's a
Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Well, you really got into this one.
I did this all in like 20 minutes too. His apartment just looks terrible.
Oh. Does he? I mean, he got paid for this movie apparently like $50,000,
which is probably a big deal for him,
especially back then.
Made him a cult hero. This is a cult. We're watching two. This is the second cult film we've watched in a row. You know that?
Yeah, that is true. I would say, do we see Perry similar like Tommy Wiseau from The Room? That's who I kept feeling.
There's clear like disaster artist and Windy City Heat crossover. I agree. An artist who's just so grandiose in his own mind, he thinks he's so incredible, but the output is dog shit. On the next day of filming, this is one of my favorite scenes, is when he's making the blender and he drinks it. He says, it's another fucking day in paradise. Put the awning. And then they say, try it again because this could get on the Disney Channel. And he does it again. He has to drink this disgusting concoction. Would you guys eat that? He drank it sort of no problem.
Twice.
The chunking was impressive.
He did it twice.
Knowing that the cheese is going to fuck you up. I thought he was going to go like pull trig or something after each set. Instead, he just blows up his shitter.
What's weird is that was pretty clearly it was a stunt to drink that, but he didn't really care. He wanted to drink it anyway.
Yeah, stardom, it gets to your head a little bit, I guess.
Then he's worried about he's gonna poo poo everywhere because now here comes this sex scene. This is gonna get raunchy. There's no time to yawn, boys, because this is hot. This scene
With
hot.
Susan B. Anthony.
Susan B. Anthony.
Who did you think Susan B. Anthony was a babe?
I believe
Those fits seemed fake. Like I think they made them fake.
I think
Like
they were
I'm not
just
saying they were fake
very.
breasts, but like they put things in
I
there
think
to
they
make
just
them
did
look
I
bigger.
think they did a lot of push up on it.
The
Maybe.
early 2000s was the era of the push up.
Yes.
Boobs were in, and so I think she was just looking
Uncomfortable for a woman. We have yet to. Well, no, I think we're starting to see the effects of the early 2000s push-ups on the amount of mommy makeovers that have to happen, because all that structural support does affect on the, just your anatomical support that's naturally
You're saying
provided.
them things sag.
I actually think that's a myth, and breasts sag more when unsupported throughout the life.
Well, gravity could be affecting it, but up for debate.
Well, they're about to do the sex scene. Cut. We got to get Perry's stunt double.
He's a big old fat guy. I also love it. They kept calling him fat throughout this when like Don's fatter than him.
Yeah.
It was clearly getting
like Big Pig, the biggest pig in Chicago, Big Porky.
You fat slob.
There wasn't really enough Chicago in this movie. Chicago wasn't a character in this movie.
There were 2 Chicago cameos. It was
What do you
filmed
mean?
in a studio a lot.
I know, it's just like I wanted to feel more like I wanted to feel like I was in the place.
Okay. No, but you're on the movie set. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's
Bad
funny
take.
because Dom goes to the bathroom when he's pooping. You hear him poop. This is a bad shit he's having.
Dude, I think Danny, I know you and I have had these type of blowouts.
Dude, I had one at work today. I
I
ate
did
way too
poop
much
like
quinoa
that.
last
Come
night.
on, you can include me in this.
I don't know, Tim. Do you have the blowout power? Do you have the
Caffeine runs, baby.
Yeah, but is it as audible as what Perry had?
Okay, no.
That when you're actually playing like orchestra level, multiple brass sections.
First chair.
Yeah.
It gets loud.
And it's made of porcelain. The first chair is made of porcelain.
The first chair is made of porcelain.
I do like when Perry opens the door from the bathroom and his assistant has food for him.
That was such a great bit.
Imagine the last thing you'd want after having a horrible shit, and it's just like a plate of food.
I'm mad that they did. I wish they would have kept having it like accidentally have cheese or something.
That's poisoning him. You can't actively he can poison himself. He did that with the pizza, but I don't think you can poison him.
Yeah, I do wonder when they were doing this production, like, did they have someone who was like the standards protocol person, where they're trying to figure out
your lawyer ahead of time.
Well, what was the true ethical line, or were they putting all bets on that Perry would not sue? Because to my understanding from the Wikipedia page, it seems like it took him actually a couple years, even after this was released on Comedy Central, to realize it was like a bit still.
And still is like unsure, it seems.
Yeah. Which is the startling fact to this, that like the level of the man's mental illness.
Yeah, the boy ain't right.
Which is why it's bad.
I mean, but is this sort of in the same vein as Howard Stern having his cast of characters? Like, we love Beetlejuice, but Beetlejuice is mentally disabled. But it's great having him on those clips are legendary. I would watch Beetlejuice dressed up as the Pope, Beetlejuice in that Aaron Rodgers jersey, talking about Obama. Like, that's some of the most important cinema we have.
Or is it's just the modern circus, man. You go to the circus, right. you want to see the bearded lady.
We've always wanted, the freak show is one of the earliest American expressions.
Yeah.
And now human expressions. And so you take that away and the people will revolt, and they'll revolt at the polls.
Hell yeah.
Because what do we have today? Where can we see the freaks? Where can we see the mishaps?
They took away the Barnum E. Bailey circus.
Yeah.
B. Bailey? Barnum Bailey. Okay. They took away The Greatest Showman. The Harlem Globetrotters are lame now.
Go to any state fair. They used to have a bearded lady. Now they have like CEO Power Girl, Power
But you can
Boss.
see the bearded lady at Walmart.
Yeah, in the Cookie Monster pajama pants.
Mm-hmm.
But those people aren't the same. And I think you guys know what I'm saying.
Yo, speaking of Cookie Monster pajama pants, I witnessed that in person in the Netherlands this week, and I really was trying to capture a photo for you, Tim. It has spread across the ocean. The infection has spread.
Wait, that's bad.
It is bad, man.
That's kind of the sign of a declining society.
No, it is the decline of not just the American empire, but that is the signs of like the 7 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Right.
Is once the pajamas show up on every continent.
Not Sweden, but yeah, pop off. Okay, I was gonna save this for my review about the mentally disabled rant that you guys just both went on. So I was thinking about Jimmy Kimmel, and for me, Jimmy Kimmel is notable these days in my day-to-day life, not because of him standing up to Trump, but because I'm currently watching the exquisite reality television show Love Thy Neighbor. Please leave a comment in the below if you're watching the Love Thy Neighbor. It's like just like a new Kardashians type thing with like 4 sisters that are hot and stupid, starring Brooks Nader, who's like a Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover girl. Anywho, I was thinking about how Kimmel is the producer of that, and that's like his probably mainstream of income at this point, given his other issues. And I was thinking about how reality TV shows like The Kardashians or like Love Thy Neighbor are kind of the same thing, where like you make these people think that they're stars, and then you have them embarrass themselves on television for everyone else's enjoyment. And then I'm like, well, and those people are pretty fucking stupid, so like, I think there is like a history, a genealogy to this.
But they have more agency with their shows.
Maybe it's hard to say. Like some of the things that they have to do are so like shameful.
Really?
And like not like it's like I can't think of a specific example, but like definitely storylines on the Kardashians are like fake and are only done for the viewer, and like a normal reasonable person wouldn't be like, yeah, I'll do that on camera.
That's true.
So it's not like, yeah, they're chugging some disgusting liquid and shitting or like having a 10-year, but like it is kind of a 10-year long prank to make the Kardashians think they're important because they're not.
Yeah. But everyone around them isn't trying to goat them into doing something embarrassing or put egg on their face. The other people
I kind of think they are.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Connect this to David Letterman and Harvey Picard. When he would have Harvey on the show making fun of him.
Yeah,
but
Harvey's a genius.
Harvey knew about it. Harvey knew what he was sacrificing in order to get that exposure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I think we manipulate people into embarrassing themselves all the time. And yeah.
Okay.
Most jobs are manipulating people into embarrassing themselves, sort of.
Yeah.
Humiliation ritual is showing up at work every day at 9 a.m. when there's no goddamn reason to.
It's fine. I just roll in whenever the hell I want and I leave whenever
epic,
the hell I want.
Bro. You're so epic.
Very badass.
You watch The Man Show on the way to work?
I listened to it on my YouTube Premium.
Let's jump ahead a little bit.
Well, I wanted to connect this to the pornography conversation we constantly have. Is the set, because we think of like I was thinking of this while I was watching, like these people getting paid to embarrass themselves, even though they may or may not be aware, like do they have agency in this? And I think of like the date, or what is it? Lana Rhoades is the one who's suing or asking. Yeah. She just did that big message of like, say, please take down all my videos. My son's gonna see it now.
Right.
Wait, I don't know this.
Lana Rhoades, the mattress actress.
Drink from the bowl. She drank from the bowl. She drinks piss.
I didn't know that. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know this.
You guys need to read up.
Wasn't she dating? The only reason I know her is even more embarrassing than. Yes, that's the way I know her. I don't know her from.
Wait, who?
That's way more embarrassing too.
Big Mike from Logan Paul's best friend, Big Mike. She was dating Big Mike, and she drinks piss on camera and like fucks a million dicks at once. And now she wants her pornos removed because she has a young son.
And this is recent news?
This like past week, I think I saw.
Wow,
I
okay.
saw I saw like a
And,
Newsweek thing
and
on
she claimed
Facebook.
she was 19 years old and she
Groomed
was
for it.
groomed and tricked into doing this. But I think you're old enough to know not to do that.
Well, in that sense, I'm connecting this to another item too, is Charles Guiteau, the assassin of James Garfield, someone who also lived in this whole idea of like narcissism and an alter reality, believing they like deserve this fame.
The delusion of he was going to be the
The
French
delusion of
ambassador.
grandeur. Yes. This is where I find it interesting, is like, because they played with that man as well, like just like fucked around with him during Garfield's campaign. New Netflix series, Death by Lightning, highly recommend it. So connecting those two to now Perry is like it goes to that essential question. All these people in some form, even if, and we could go down the Kirk route here of mattress actresses have some form of mental illness themselves, believing like what they're doing is right. Let's make the assumption that they have a mental illness. Is it okay? And I'm thinking that it's okay to have them be used to an extent of entertainment as long as they're fairly compensated, because
Okay,
it
I'm
goes
trying to
back to,
follow what you're saying here, and you
I
think
think we're
that
being a
they're
little fast and loose with mental illness.
well, as the most experienced mental illness person here. Well, why do you say that?
Right, but like every mental illness has different contours, and some affect decision making, and some are just like unrelated to decision making. And like, there's a difference between having brain damage that makes you like low IQ and then like having an abusive childhood.
So you're saying actual like psychological illness versus
Cognitive
the phys.
impairment versus, yeah, psychological disturbance or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I buy into that. I buy into that. But then that goes into, can the
Like, I'm a
psychological
smart
disturb.
motherfucker, but I can't have a healthy relationship. That's like two different buckets of skills.
So that's a psychological disturbance, or do you think that's because of the cognitive imbalance? That could be.
No, psychological disturbance.
yeah.
Interesting.
That got so deep. We're
Speaking of
cutting
psych,
that. Okay.
speaking of
Moving on,
psychological,
though.
speaking of psychological disturbances, I like it when Perry is tasked with guarding the snack table for Nagasaki Hiroshima, who is the Japanese money man who
Yeah,
The
that one
money
was a
man.
funny name.
invested into the film. He's the producer. And he takes his job very seriously. Nobody touched the food, and then of course Mole gets in there and just knocks it all over. And the film is up in the air. They don't know if they're going to make this thing.
Which doesn't make any sense. Like, why would that make the film
But
up in
Perry
the
doesn't
air?
know any
That's
better.
what's so
Perry
funny.
thinks they're shooting a whole Hollywood movie in 6 days. Like,
And like, why would
they
Perry
they know
that a
they can
bunch
get
of
away with
donuts
it.
on the table is going to make a difference for not Hiroshima, Nagasaki?
The fact that he doesn't second guess or question any of this is the best part of it all.
And he's just irate. He's screaming, like he says something. There's a cutaway where it's an interview, and he goes, "Mole is one of the worst people on earth," and then
He's not even a human. He's a son of a bitch.
And then it cuts to him. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna actually murder you."
When his voice would get that high pitch, would be the best.
Horrible.
And I'm just like, he's like, they're giving me stomach ulcers.
So sad. He's so.
We skipped over a little bit before the table incident, because they were starting to do the merchandising for this, where like Perry believes there's gonna be like action figures of him, lunch boxes, and they give
ugly in all of the depiction.
They made him fat and ugly and everything. But there's another great name bit that they added to this, is they had Nicola Sacco and Bartholomew Vanzetti. If you're very familiar with like U.S. civil rights cases of the 1920s, that was like one of the major capital punishment of like without like what is it, beyond a reasonable doubt, but the jury still put these two Italian immigrants to the electric chair. Nicholas Sacco's my
It's
great
related to me.
uncle.
I'm so Italian.
Yeah,
My last name is McPully.
Yeah, you don't have to say that one.
I like that. That was kind of, I like that, because not many dumb people would get that. And
Right,
that'd be a name I'd be able to pull off on both of you, and you never already
I
glimpse it
didn't know
because
the names. So
you're both just ignorant pigs.
I actually knew Sacco and Vanzetti, but yeah.
This is when the film makes a turn, and perhaps a bad one, because they need a new funder for the film. And
The new money man.
It's Yorgi. What's his name?
Yeah, something like Yugi or Yorgi.
Is that
I
the
thought
porno guy?
But this was another character they introduced into Perry's life prior to.
So we don't have a lot of context to him, but Perry does not get along with him.
Because he was trying to convince the earlier prank of the Perry project is they tried getting Perry to do a porn with Yergi as the director. And Perry
and he says he can't be in pornos because he's SAG-AFTRA or whatever.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
He's part of the Actors Guild. Yeah.
And that's a rule they can't be in porn?
I don't think so. I think he just...
I think that was made up. I was wondering if anyone knew that or fact-checked it. I figured Tim would know. Yeah. Which is... This is where it's turned into a bit more of okay, this is just Jimmy Kimmel, Adam Carolla man show. Is Yorgi had his two prostitutes with him the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're just showing girls in skimpy outfits and bikinis just because it's early 2000s. Let's keep this entertaining for us, which goes into I thought this while I was watching this. I'm when will the day come across when Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel came out as Weinstein level creeps? Or is it just known and we're just not
way up the ladder because there's videos of Kimmel in blackface.
Yes, as Oprah.
He really seems to care.
It was a different time.
But that's so crazy.
But he has recognized and apologized for it. So maybe he just handled that well instead of
cringe. He apologized for it.
Never apologized.
He came back on the air after Trump and cried. It's this guy is full loony liberal. We've lost him.
I didn't even watch his
apology
speech. Yeah.
It was dumb. The guy's a great actor. Great actor. Yeah, it's even the worst. You know what the worst part about him getting canceled for?
Who does he fuck?
He has a family, but who does he fucking like?
Oh, he has a family?
Yeah.
Is his wife famous?
I don't know.
What's she look like?
Let's see.
Does she got big mommy milkers?
Jimmy Kimmel.
He seems to have
Is it Jiggly Wiggly? Jiggly Wriggly?
That would be so cool.
Molly Oh, he was married while he was in the Man Show for 14 years, and then he married Molly McNeamy. Oh, they just posted a USA Today article. Jimmy Kimmel's wife opens up about lost relationships with Trump-supporting families.
Oh.
Jimmy Kimmel's gearing up to be president.
Oh no,
with Jon Stewart. I hate it how all the late night show guys act like they're actually buddies, but I feel like they all hate each other. Even I think Colbert and Stewart.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but I feel like they all hate Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon, yeah, I think they all.
And then they hate Jim. They hate both Jimmys. I think they all respect Jon Stewart, but Jon Stewart really doesn't care for any of them, and I think Jon Stewart doesn't care for Colbert that much anymore.
Low key, Seth Meyers is the best late night guy.
Conan, Team Conan, Team Coco.
I've never watched. Conan O'Brien, not Daniel's thing.
What's the late night we watched in Puerto Rico every night?
It was Kimmel, wasn't it? Or was it Fallon? No, it was Fallon.
We wanted Jimmy because we'd watch his dumb drinking games because Jimmy Fallon's an alcoholic.
That was weird. Why were we doing that? I completely forgot about Jimmy.
Because every town in Puerto Rico had nothing going on after 9 p.m. because the street lights wouldn't turn on.
Yeah, that might be right.
That's such a funny inside joke that I completely forgot about. Okay, continue.
Jimmy.
They film a couple more scenes with Ernie Banks and William the Refrigerator Perry. Who cares, really? I guess it's kind of funny. I thought William the Refrigerator Perry acted his ass off. He did great.
Yeah.
And he was looking for his fridge. The fridge is looking for his fridge.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Now, Danny, do you know what football team the fridge was on?
The Bears.
The Bears.
Correct. What team? What famous team?
Oh, he doesn't know shit.
Bro, do you know ball?
The Bears.
Yeah, but what
year?
like the
Oh,
classically
What
references
team?
put the potentially best football team ever assembled.
73.
Oh my God.
85.
The 80 you've never heard everyone talk about the 85 Bears.
Yeah, but I don't pay attention because who gives a fuck?
Okay,
All
so
right.
it's the big night.
Terry Bradshaw has brain damage, speaking of people.
No, he's just old.
Yeah, they need to
Okay.
stop trotting him out on the TV.
Yeah, they really got to get him off the television.
Replace him with Big Ben.
Remember when he was like, Andy Reid, you're a fat fuck. You gonna eat some hamburgers now you won the Super Bowl? That was so
That was
bad.
that
I
was
don't remember that.
maybe Terry
Oh,
Bradshaw was
on
pranking
the
us
stage?
all.
On the stage, he's like, you gonna eat some hamburgers after this?
That was
Terry Bradshaw,
incredible.
not a trim guy either.
Yeah, he was on the. Didn't he have like the weight loss commercials with like the baseball Frank Thomas?
Oh yeah.
So bad.
Didn't he have a TV
Also,
show?
and he
Like,
wears those
in the
driving
60s?
caps. And let me just say one thing real quick. If either of you lose your
You're gonna
hair and
wear a
start wearing a
no.
driving cap, I'm
Your
going to
dad
put
wears
a
a
gun in
driving
your
cap.
mouth. I know, and I think he's a clown.
You're gonna be wearing a driving cap.
think
I will not.
that's
And if
not
I
what
ever
we
do, I
did.
want you to kill me. You have to
All
promise
right,
right now on pod, kill me if I ever wear a driving cap.
What method? Like what method? Do you want us to
Any
shoot it?
method.
Do you want
Any
us to
method.
take the
You can
top of your
bludgeon me
head
to
off
death. I
with
don't
the
give a
cap?
fuck, but I need to die. I need to
With the
die.
red bat. With the red bat.
I
You have
need to
permission
die.
to Charlie Kirk Danny Ocean on site if he is wearing a cap.
Cab hat. Bus driver hat is what I call them.
A cabbie.
It's called a driving cap, yeah.
Driving cab. Let's cut to the night of the big premiere. Perry is in the hotel room and they play an audio tape from John Quincy Adams who says that the premiere is at 7:30 and it's 6:45 or something. And do you guys ever get stressed like about getting to a place on the right time? You know, I
Dude,
get stressed.
Every day of my life.
That's the whole military. You show up 15 minutes early to everything.
This whole like the back half of the movie is like a nightmare someone would have about trying to get to a place and they can't get there.
It actually gave me anxiety watching it.
And I'm like, why do I even care? But they lock Perry out on the porch for like 15 minutes. That's fucked. I felt bad for Perry there.
I was waiting for that door to get busted, the screen door or the window, glass door. Like I was hoping he would just push himself through that.
And then Mole fucking unplugged the phone, so the limo driver can't even tell him they're there.
Then they beat the limo driver.
They are kind of like the Three Stooges. They mention that they're very stooge.
Yeah, that's what they believe. They're the next Three Stooges.
The Millennium's new Stooges.
Which that's okay. I'm glad you brought that up. That's why I think Perry actually believes like those guys are truly who they are and have like continued like believing this for over a decade as their whole bit.
Right, I see.
And you can tell Perry obviously is like internet illiterate, even though it's only 2002, 2003. So like this man is not going to the library. This man's not reading newspapers. Besides watching
so
TV.
may think that he is as big as the Three Stooges.
Mm-hmm.
I think he realizes he's not if he's streaming from his disgusting home.
Well, I think there's a Reddit thread of like Perry chains once he discovered the internet. Yeah, because he's trying to like act like he's in on the bit, but still doesn't Yeah, but like is still getting fucked with, but they can't recognize when he's like actually in control of a situation and when he's not. So that's when the entertainment of the abusing and bullying of a mentally ill person or cognitively impaired person, it gets a little sad because now he's like fully knowing of what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. That is sad. I don't like that he's trying to be in on the bit. That's bad news.
Yeah.
But Travis Bickle is their limo driver, and he's taking forever. He's spraying the fucking windshield. They're signing autographs for Travis.
You know what I was thinking about when he was spraying the windshield?
Squeegee Boys?
The town that you live in.
Yeah, Squeegee Boys.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes you got to get squeegeed.
Well, you know what Travis Bickle is
yes.
a reference to?
Fight Club?
No.
I thought it was Fight Club.
Taxi Driver.
Oh yeah, Taxi Driver. That's what I meant.
Schraderverse strikes again.
Yes. I almost said Steven Sondheim verse, but I was just trying to remember Paul Schrader.
Which is funny because he's a limo driver and it's Taxi Driver.
Yes. Like great little bit there that
Hilarious.
I thought Perry would pick up with that because I feel like Perry would have watched Taxi Driver.
No, he's got brain damage. Like it's a mentally challenged person. I think the more I'm thinking about this, he's
the Joker, man. I have a feeling that they basically turned like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, with I forget the director Todd Adams or the guy who made Hangover,
right?
Todd
Glass.
Yeah, Todd Glass. I don't know, but I wonder how much inspiration is like
Scott Adams.
Scott Adams is the Dilbert guy.
Okay, I'm looking that up. But they basically inspired like the Joaquin Phoenix guy as like this is what if Perry actually like broke Todd Phillips if Perry actually like the bolts broke loose because like I am shocked that Perry has not had like a public outrage where he's like gone after anybody besides his like lawsuit against Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Like if you find out like Perry ended up shooting up like some studio person or one of these guys one day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Perry, please don't do that if you're listening. I hope you are listening. I'm sure, I don't know. Hopefully you got to this part of the internet. We'd love to have you on the show one day. Get to, learn a bit more about you. And, we are trying to create some movies here ourselves. So we have some great ideas and would love to get you back on the silver screen.
Maybe we'll reach out to him and see if he wants to come on the podcast.
Scott Adams is part of the project if you're interested.
After I called him a retard like 5 minutes into this podcast.
Well, you're an ignorant pig, Danny.
A funny part with the limo is they don't like the water. The water's not good enough, and so the limo driver's like, "Let's get this vitamin water at this other place."
Which, like, that was a very 2003 moment.
Yes.
Vitamin water.
Like this place, this is the place that has the vitamin water I told you about is so 2003.
But I also, Danny, I felt like this would be something that you would do because you're usually pretty good about schedules. So this is the part where I couldn't connect you, but you making us go out of the way for something stupid at a convenience store because like your mind's fixated on it at that moment.
Yeah, I was making, water for sure would be something I would do that for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or if it was like when you're in your Jewel Pod phase, like requiring us to do a very inconvenient detour to go get pods.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Also love it once they get. I like it the chaos that ensues once they get in the convenience store. How like the
that's
owners.
Funny. I was laughing at that.
Yeah.
The two sisters come out and they're belly dancing and they're like rubbing on each other and everybody's trying to kiss them and it's crazy.
Like what the fuck?
That's why it felt like a dream. Like it felt unreal.
And then they get back in. Todd is Todd is
Travis
drinking. Travis Brinkley. I keep wanting to say Todd Barkley and Travis Barkley. Travis Brinkley. Is drinking and driving now and just getting hammered.
And he goes through the red light.
Yes. Which I wonder.
That was a moment where I was like, wait, how did they pull that off?
I think that's edited in where like.
Maybe.
Part, I don't know. Because like, there's no way they shut down the street for this like level of production. But then again, it looks like they just picked a random bullshit theater that had nothing, that was nowhere on like Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it when they get to the marquee and his name is misspelled once again. They have the running bit of just constantly misspelling his last name.
Absolutely. Very good.
Just a tiny little detail that just adds to the level of frustration.
Would you do that all the time to both me and Tim?
Well, I have never misspelled Tim.
You misspell his with an E all the time.
Pretty sure
like at least 20 times.
Danny, yours is actually a problem where I truly can't spell your last
But
name
you you frequently misspell John's as well.
Yeah, just to get my goat.
I've been getting you. It's become muscle memory, and it's actually an issue because I think we could be friends for another 3 decades, and I'll continue this issue.
He said 3 decades.
It's wishful thinking.
The Danny Project.
They get to the movie theater.
Do you not have a pillowcase on, or is that a decorative pillow?
These are my couch pillows.
Okay.
It's like a they call it like a canvas, like it's meant to look like untreated canvas.
Okay, they finally get into the movie, and we see some clips from the film, and of course, it's terrible, and it is very The Room-like in this part. Feels like
Yes, the screening part, yeah.
The screening with the rooftop scene, and I wonder
The
if
shitty
they
special
actually
effects.
stole some stuff from that.
Well, The Room came out, wasn't it almost like the same time?
Yeah.
It's actually a good question. I'm not sure.
I don't think that The Room would have been mainstream enough for. Room came out in 2003. This would have been the same same year. So
Maybe
I
it
doubt.
just like passed around in circles, and it got to them or something.
I don't know.
Ernie Banks makes a cameo here, and he says you should go play for the Cubs. Refrigerator Perry pushes out his fridge. Thanks for getting my fridge back.
Thanks for getting my fridge. I want to watch the actual like cut of this real movie, which I bet
I don't think it
exists
exists.
somewhere.
I think that's the weird part, is that it doesn't exist.
They had to have something going. They had to have like at least like 30 minutes of random bullshit put together, so that way like they had a scenario ready.
Well, and then the president of the movie ends, and the president of show business,
which is
Jeff
incredible.
Pearson, who actually I don't know that name. Jeff Pearson, Geoff Pearson.
Jeff Pearson. Jeff Pearson's. It's an actor.
Okay, it might be actually his name, but they bring out a big ass like trophy for a cheerleading trophy.
And Mole breaks it.
This is when they cut to Jimmy Kimmel in the crowd, and he's looking chubby.
Mm-hmm.
Mole breaks it. Very funny. And it's sort of a walk off into the sunset sort of thing. He signs somebody's tits. He goes on a joyride through Hollywood. He goes on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and they give some more background information, and then, goddamn, that's how it.
But no, they talk about how he slept with a dude.
Yes, and he doesn't like that because he's homophobic.
Which I love.
Say that on late night.
I love it how they he actually. I thought this was interesting, and it made me actually think of like maybe Perry has more narcissism than an actual like cognitive like issue, because like he actually had some good like control of his emotions on the Jimmy Kimmel show when he like didn't blow up against Mole. Like you could tell he wanted to, but he held it together, realizing, oh, it's his show. Then they go back to his interview, and then he admits to back in like the 90s,
he did sleep with a man.
He slept with a man. This was like a Danny type conversation where he's like, "Oh, I only let him blow me, and I jerked him off."
Sleep on us.
I was dying because this is very much a defense of a homosexual act discussion.
Yeah,
we're just gonna get a yeah out of that one. That's the end of the film, and
thank God.
Laughed, and I cried, and I think that's what I wanted to show you guys, and I'm glad we watched it. And any final thoughts before we get into the reviews?
I got
discussion questions.
Discussing questions.
I was gonna say, without doxing us too hard, what are the longest bits we've played against each other that it took people forever to figure out we were doing?
Danny told me he was in Japan once, but he was actually just in Eastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's kind of funny. I have a similar one to you. I did.
Oh yeah, sometime Jared told me he was at
the bagel stop down the street
across from my house, and it was pouring rain, and I went and checked.
And I wasn't even in the same state.
He wasn't even there. That was a weird thing to lie about to your friend. I think I'm Perry.
Or like when I dropped a gift off at your house, trying to act like it was a nice, genuine gift.
Yeah.
Said it was.
There's the time you guys stole my sunglasses in Puerto Rico.
No.
I don't think we
That's
did
actually
that.
that's why I'm not Perry, is because you guys
You're
actually
so
aren't doing
paranoid.
anything to me, but I always think you are doing something to me. So
You
this
thought
could
we
never
stole your
happen to me because I'm too
substances?
paranoid.
Paranoid. You thought
Paranoid.
when you think that you're paranoid. You think your friends are roasting you.
Oh, I guess Danny's Perry is how he made out with a person on a certain camping trip in a cabin.
What?
No,
In 2019.
it
Or when
wasn't a
Danny.
makeout that I was concerned about.
Oh no! When Danny made out with me in Berlin.
That one is not true. I hate that one. So annoying. That one's so annoying.
I don't know which ones. I guess you guys could have some against me. I don't. But here's my problem. Some of ours are bad. It's like when the classic. Oh God, sorry, I had someone trying to FaceTime me. When a girlfriend of mine in college may or may not have hooked up with a friend of ours.
Yeah,
and we still don't to this day know the reality.
But that was
No,
very
we all
Perry.
know the reality, Jared.
I don't know.
That was Perry of you in terms of you being locked out and you couldn't get to it, and so that what you were being parried.
That was
Bring me my bike.
But I think that's what friends are supposed to do. Is like friends are supposed to parry each other
Maybe.
to a certain extent. I mean, not to this level.
Yeah, shit's crazy.
Danny's having second thoughts. Here, let's get to the crux of it. Is this abuse? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think all filmmaking can be abusive in a variety of ways. And okay, Susan Sarandon was abused during the filming of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Rocky was abused being like a young
was
man.
George Clooney abused when he shot The American and got paid $55 million?
No, he was abusing the filmmakers. He was abusing the viewer.
Okay.
Shitty movies like that take way more budget than they should require, and you're overpaying actors, is why Hollywood doesn't make good independent films anymore and take a risk. No film, no. For this to ever happen again, of course, Comedy Central I think funded this, but this would have to be like some stupid ass Netflix or Amazon Prime type movie. This would never be released. So fuck you, George.
John,
Clooney,
what do you think? Is
The
it
American.
abuse?
I watched this twice, and on the first time, I thought it was abuse, and I felt bad for him. On the second time, I thought he had it coming, and now when we're talking about it again, I think it's abuse because you can't really do this stuff today. Frankly, couldn't do it, and there's a reason why they don't do it anymore because it's too offensive. But
It reminds me of my grandpa telling me that one time there was a special kid that lived in his neighborhood, and they asked him if he wanted to play firefighter, and then they said, "You're gonna be the house that's on fire," and then they all whipped out their dicks and peed on him.
Oh,
holy fuck!
Jesus Christ!
I think that guy was parried.
Yeah.
But this stuff doesn't happen to girls. Like only guys get abused like this by their fellow gentlemen.
No,
Yeah, but that was also like 1930 that went down. Like, I'm not sure it's a huge deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying to find bread for dinner or something.
Exactly.
Your grandpa told you that story?
Yeah, and he's like, well, you can't do that sort of thing anymore. It was supposed to be a life lesson sort of thing.
No, he felt guilt about it and regret, didn't want you to make that mistake, and it's left that impact. Have you pissed on anyone?
Not in that context.
Have you deceitfully pissed on anyone?
I've never deceitfully pissed on anyone. Only truthful pissing.
Only truthful piss. Very transparent on you're about to be pissed on, and it's not.
Well, not that transparent. It depends on how much coffee I've had during the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. The bullying, I like to wonder how this is compared to like the Jordan Klepper when he goes out to like all the MAGA rallies and Trump people, where he's clearly talking to like just some mentally deranged folks that you don't know if like they have something wrong with them or if they're just like so far down like the red pill rabbit hole that like they just truly believe this stuff. Yeah. But I think a lot of times it is those mental, like I think they have something interestingly going on with their mental illness. And I'm like, well, it goes to this ultimate point of, and I wonder, Danny, your question on this with agency, and maybe am not interpreting this right, is because these people have something potentially wrong with them and have a cognitive impairment or a psychological disturbance, does that mean we can't hold them accountable for just their terrible characteristic traits? Or terrible characteristics, not characteristic traits.
I think it's just like too broad of a brush. You have to look at the specific person and the specific traits and the specific challenge that they're facing.
So a person who is a fascist who has Down syndrome, how are you handling that?
I'm going to give them like mostly a pass, but not completely a pass. And I'm definitely not giving the people who allowed them to become a fascist any pass at all.
Okay.
You give those type of people bionicles and try to waste their time.
Yeah.
Bionicle. And this sort
Are bionicles fascist?
They got creating like fascist tools, absolutely.
What?
Yeah.
How is what? I want to hear this part. Give me a 30 seconds justification.
Bionicles, it's like creating them as like a bundle of sticks. You put the things in, and sometimes you hurt your fingers and you accidentally put the two pieces together. Do you guys ever do that when you build bionicles?
And you pinch yourself in the pieces?
Pinch yourself. That is a fascist act. And so, yeah, and they're like, all of them are fucking angry robots.
Yeah, they're kind of like killing machines.
They're killing machines. But they were sick. I had so many.
I like when the Happy Meals were giving them out.
Danny was more of a Playmobil kind of guy.
Yeah.
Very German. Big squares, big blocks.
That's more fascist. Playmobil.
No, Playmobil is socialist, utopia. Everything's the same.
You're right. Because
yeah,
that came out of the eastern part of Germany. I went to the Playmobil headquarters. That was an interesting little tour. What would okay, so we can
this guy went to Playmobil headquarters.
Yeah, you can't just say that, dude.
You think he's so fucking cool.
I am. That is pretty cool.
I watched the Man Show and I watched Playmobil with Charles Godot. I like Playmobiles.
All right.
Shut up.
Well, okay. Here's the part I think will be interesting. Going back to Danny's answer to this, is we live in a world now where mental illness, whether we define it as psychological disturbance or cognitive impairments, are much more, I would say, positively diagnosed or actually recognized. So we have a higher percentage of the population with this as like a disability or a condition that they may have. And now those people are also having a greater stake in society or having a more vocal part of society. Potentially, we could even mention like Elon Musk's autism. And I think this will be an interesting balance of how we continue to tackle this matter in the world to come and that we face it today.
I mean, I don't want to be...
So I think the bullying might be okay.
Yes, I agree actually with that.
I think
it's the same thing as giving bionicles to the fascist mentally challenged person. You know, you got to keep them busy because if not, they're going to become trillionaires and ruin the country. So you got to put these freaks on a pedestal or our society will collapse. I mean, look who just got voted mayor of New York. I mean, like, we're doomed here, people.
Dude, Cookie Monster pajama pants all around.
It is true. The Cookie Monster pajama pants are literally running this country, and that's what this whole podcast has been about. If you look at when we started versus now, and you just see there's a graph of Cookie Monster pajama pants, and it is directly correlated with a fall in quality of life, income.
Was Biden president when we started this podcast?
Yes.
Jesus
Crazy.
Christ.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know that.
No, we did. We started in March of 2020.
Oh,
Not March
This
of
pod-
2020. Are you?
March of
You're so
2024.
dumb.
We were there for January 6th with this podcast, folks.
5 years, and we have plenty of subscribers to show for it.
Yes. Oh boy. Oh, here's another question I had for y'all.
No, we're about done wrapping up. So
No, if there's one person in your life that you would want to be, put them in their place or do a similar Perry project, who would it be? And I'm outside these three people in this pod. Someone who is so gullible that they could actually fall for this.
There's some
Oh, it
people
has
I
to
work
be a
with.
viable option.
Yeah, viable option that you think you could get this like false reality and get them bought in on this for like an extended period of time, maybe not a decade. Oh, okay, that's a good one.
I'm actually having trouble coming up with a name. There are people I would like to do it to, but I don't think it would work on them.
They're sharp enough to
Like a lot of my
find out.
like old bosses, I would love to do this to.
Yeah.
I think I could pull this off to my brother, my mom, or my dad quite easily. And I have done similar things where there have been multi-year lies and fake things that exist that they still believe to this day.
I would like to see you do this. Your dad would be a good candidate for this.
Yeah. Oh, I have a whole fake social media crisis going on with his small business, because he decided to pee outside at the business, and I said that someone saw him and posted it on Facebook, so I created a whole fake Facebook page that was just a dead web page and got him to believe it was real. And he contacted a lawyer to try to get this slander taken down, but none of it was ever real.
Good Lord.
Very funny. We're very proud of you, Jared, our special boy.
You shouldn't bully your father, so think about that.
No, it's teaching him a lesson not to pee outside at your business. There's bathrooms right nearby. Not to go pee on the disabled kid like Danny's grandfather.
A titan of industry and a hero of government.
And with that, it's time to give
the rating.
Reviews. And who goes first? Do I go first? As a person who...
You go first, then Jared, then me. No, Jared goes first, then you, then
I
me.
go first. Yeah.
No, when do I go?
You middle.
You go
middle
second.
Man. Yeah. Listen for once, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I kind of have the urge now to watch this again, but I think I need to watch this with people in front to see their reactions. This is definitely, I think, more... You got to have, if you're someone who doesn't have friends and is like a bully yourself, you're not going to find this funny. So you have to be okay with like fucking with people to even enjoy parts of this, or else you're just going to think these guys are just assholes the entirety of it. Was a little difficult to follow if you didn't understand the background context of these other comedians and what their like part in this was. And if I didn't do any of this other supplemental research, probably would have actually disliked this film a lot, but the film standalone, I actually thought it wasn't that great. I would actually only give it like a 2.5, but because I got into the back research and started enjoying it a bit more, of like really appreciating, and also seeing the after effect this had on this type of genre of like mockumentary style setups with like Borat, Bruno, the Further Jackasses, Eric Andre, The Rehearsal, Nathan For You. I think it did a very good net positive for society, and I'm giving this a 4.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I thought of the outcome, not the standalone film.
I think that I agree. This is a trendsetter. What Jared just said, think about all those films that came after it. This is good, funny stuff. And I think we do need to make fun of those that are disadvantaged. I think that is my biggest take of this. To keep them in their place. And that goes for everyone. Everyone can be parried at any point. And I thought it was funny. I think most of it hit. A comedy movie where most of it hits is rare. And it does it well. And I think my favorite joke. What was my favorite joke?
The red bat scene got
Red
me.
Bat's pretty good. I think when he poops in the toilet and then comes out and a plate of food waiting for him. That's really funny.
The worst part is I think I might snack after having diarrhea like that.
Yeah. I'm giving this. I'd like to see Perry fucked up. Like, give him a bunch of beers and see what he acts like.
I think it'd get really homophobic, and then I think the racial slurs would start coming out.
Yeah. I'm also giving this a 4.
Hell yeah. We never talked about how he took a gas station boner pill in preparation for his sex scene.
Spanish Fly.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Now let's hear what the review that really matters.
Yep. The Wonderkin.
Didn't laugh.
Alert! Wonderkin opinion is about to drop.
I didn't laugh a single time.
And folks,
Not
that
once.
concludes this week's Fishy Film.
So I'm giving it a 1 out of 5.
What the fuck?
The only thing it was supposed to accomplish was to make me laugh, and it couldn't accomplish that. So it's a 1 out of 5.
Why?
Did you have any emotional reaction to this at all? Like cringe,
Honestly,
anxiety?
no. Like I felt like I had taken a Xanax and was just watching images on a screen.
When did you watch this? In the circumstances of your life the past 10 days, when was this viewed?
Saturday afternoon, everything was going pretty well. I was procrastinating on a little bit of work, so you might think it would be extra enjoyable. It wasn't. Yeah. So 1 out of 5. And with that, I will take us to our next pick. Our next film is going to be from 1984 from the Coen brothers, Blood
Oh?
Simple,
Oh, I've never seen this or heard
the
of this.
directorial debut of the Coen brothers. It's available on
Holy
HBO
crap.
Max.
Nice. Thank
Epic.
you for maximizing that for me.
And
Oh, we didn't talk
That's
about
it.
the Catholicism. No, we didn't
Or the
talk about
fish.
Catholicism or the fish. I did not catch any fish in this. I kept looking back and try to see if there was even like a sushi or anything. Nothing of that. But I can infer that Perry is Catholic, as he is very proud of his Italian American heritage.
Yeah, he's probably
Good point.
Catholic.
Yep. But he never brings religion into this. I didn't see them ever go after any fish on any of the food platters or mention this in conversation.
They probably smelled like fish. Like, I've never seen a film with stinkier like the big 3 look like they reeked.
Oh yeah, which is making us more common, like the big 3.
True.
Well, folks, Danny,
Thanks
you
for
want to take
joining
it
us
out?
to see a mentally challenged person get bullied for a couple hours.
And if you want to see it next episode, tune in again. Have a wonderful evening. Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.